can be optimistic, you can be pessimistic. But what does it mean to be realistic? What is realism? What does that mean? A lot of times we hear, I'm not pessimistic, or I'm not a pessimist, I'm a realist. You don't often hear optimistic people say that. I'm not optimistic, I'm realistic. I mean, that's a really intense way of being optimistic, I guess, positive. Anyway, obviously optimistic people, if you don't know, optimism means positivity, they're more positive. Pessimistic people are more negative. They look at what could go wrong. Optimistic people look at what could go right, for example. But I'm talking mainly what is realism and why they should not be confused with the others. Why realism is not, even realism is a thing, but it's not the same thing that we think, like it compares into, it's not the middle ground of optimism or pessimism. Realism, maybe, you know what? Maybe if you're like a Zen Buddhist, mindful, totally like, then you're a realist. Because you take no stance on anything. That's like you're really in there. I don't know, inform me if I'm wrong, but that's what my understanding of it is. So, to explain better, I'm going to illustrate with this. The cliche is this glass of juice. I don't want to... Is it half empty or half full? Right? The cliche. People who are pessimistic will say it's half empty. People who are optimistic will say it's half full. If you think in your mind it's half empty, but you say it's half full, that you're just lying to people. Is it good? Is it bad? That's not what we're here. That's not what it's about. But what would a realist say? That's the real question. That's what I'm trying to get at here. What is the realist answer to this question? One could say, oh, but if the glass was full and then I drank half of it, now it's half empty. Vice versa. If the glass was if the glass was empty and then I only filled it halfway, now it's half full. That is a matter of perspective. However, if you have no way of knowing where the glass started from, the glass was always empty to begin with, I would say, originally. But that's not the point. Because if the glass was full and then got down to here and now it's half empty in your eyes, can't you just refill it if you wanted to? So it could still be half full. Really. Full or empty. Now, here's what realism is. Here's what reality is. Realism is derived from the word reality, real. What is real? Reality is a thing that we perceive. All of us perceive reality differently. We use our senses, our eyes, our nose, our ears, our mouth, and our touch, our fingers. So sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. I don't know why I couldn't think of it. Anyway, right? These senses, the word senses, the parts of our bodies that we use for the senses are sensors. Meaning, our eyes are not actually, how do I explain this? Your eyes don't actually see. Your eyes see, but what they are doing is sensing, looking at the thing, interpreting what it is, sending electrical signals through your nerves to your brain, and then your brain goes, like whatever, like a computer, and then processes the information. That's sight. There can be combinations as well, like your taste is also, your smell and your taste kind of go together. Touch is touch, but it all derives from nerves. It all comes from nerves going through electrical signals into your brain to process what is the reality that you're perceiving. So naturally, because we are all unique, we all think differently, we are all from different walks of life, we all have different experiences. Information is perceived based on how do I explain it? Again, this goes back to subconscious mind, but I'm not going to get into that. Information is perceived based on our life paradigms, our life experiences, our life perspective. So we don't all see things the same. In fact, for example, this is red. However, maybe I see the red differently from how you see the red. How do you explain the color red? You can't say objects that are red because we all see the object as the same, but how do you really explain the color red? And do you actually see it the same as how I see it? Anyway, that's going off the track a little bit. But the point is, realism is not a thing of, is not a middle ground, per se, of optimism or pessimism. So, realists, I can be an optimist and say that the glass is half full, and that's my reality. I can be a pessimist and say the glass is half empty, and that's my reality. We're both realistic. We're both realists. How we perceive it is optimism or pessimism. That's my point. So, some ways, like, oh, but what about this and that? Okay, so, some examples. A pessimist, I don't have enough money to do X, so I can't. That's a pessimist. An optimist, I want to do X, or I want to get X. I don't want to say X. Anyway, I want to do this thing, whatever, so I will earn or earn the money or find a way to make the money to do that thing. Pessimist, I can't run fast. Optimist, I want to start running, so maybe this way I can run faster. Pessimist, I can't write very well, so I'm not going to write. Optimist, let me try learning how to write so that I can learn, so I can write better, and so on and so forth. Realism, what is real? It's a matter of perspective, and that's all it is. And that's my point. So, on that note, cheers. Now it's getting empty. Anyway, that's all I have to say on that. So think about that as what realism is. Are you optimistic or pessimistic? Pessimistic. So yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let's keep growing together. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care.